You walk into a dealership. You have done your research. You know the MSRP. You even know the invoice price. You negotiate for 2 hours. You shake hands. You think you got a great deal. Then they walk you to the finance office, and somewhere in that stack of papers, buried under 9 signature lines and a handshake, they quietly add $4,000 to your bill. You will not catch it. Most buyers never do, because the trick is not in the price of the car. It is in everything they attach to it after you stop paying attention. Today, I am going to show you exactly how this works, name the specific fees they use, and give you the exact words to say to block every single one. Here is how the modern dealership model actually works. Dealers make very little money on the car itself. The margin between what they pay the manufacturer and what they sell to you is razor thin. On most mainstream vehicles in 2026, that gap is roughly 3 to 5% over invoice, which works out to somewhere between $1,000 and $4,000 depending on the model. That is their gross profit before expenses. After paying the salespeople, the rent, the electricity, and the lot maintenance, the net profit on the vehicle itself can be as low as 1 to 2% of the total sale. So how does a dealership actually make money? The answer is the finance office. That small room in the back of the building is the most profitable square footage in the entire dealership. By the time you sit down in that chair, you have already spent 3 or 4 hours at the dealership. You are mentally exhausted. You are emotionally committed. You have already told your spouse or your family that you bought the car. And that is exactly when they hit you. The finance manager's job is not to process your paperwork. His job is to attach as many add-on products to your deal as possible before you sign the final contract. And the average dealership is loading over $2,000 in add-ons onto more than half of all deals. According to CarEdge, which analyzed over 37,000 verified out-the-door price quotes across nearly 10,000 dealerships, 52% of dealers include add-ons on their quotes. That is not a fringe practice. That is standard operating procedure. But it starts even before the finance office. Walk up to any car on a dealer lot and look at the window. You will see 2 stickers. The first is the Monroney sticker. That is the official manufacturer's window sticker required by federal law. It shows the MSRP, the factory installed options, and the fuel economy. That sticker is real. Now look next to it. There's a second, smaller sticker. This is the dealer addendum, and this is where the extraction begins. The addendum lists things the dealer added after the car arrived from the factory. Common items include paint protection film, fabric sealant, nitrogen-filled tires, VIN etching, wheel locks, pinstriping, and something vaguely called an environmental protection package. Here is the truth about these items. Paint protection from a dealership is typically a bottle of spray sealant that costs the dealer less than $30 in product, applied by a detail technician in 15 minutes. They charge you $500 to $1,000 for it. A professional detailer outside the dealership will do a superior job for less money. Nitrogen-filled tires are the single most infamous dealer add-on in the industry. The atmosphere you are breathing right now is 78% nitrogen. Filling a tire with pure nitrogen offers negligible, real-world benefit for a daily driver. A can of nitrogen at Costco is free. Dealerships charge $200 to $400 for it. VN etching costs the dealer roughly $3 per vehicle. They charge you $300 to $500 for a service that has minimal proven impact on theft deterrence because your vehicle identification number is already stamped into over a dozen locations on every car by federal requirement. These items are often pre-installed before you ever arrive. The dealer then tells you they cannot be removed and therefore must be included in the price. This is a pressure tactic. The FTC has specifically warned that dealers cannot force you to pay for add-ons you did not request. Now you sit down in the finance office. This is round 2. The finance manager will present you with a menu of products: extended warranties, gap insurance, tire and wheel protection, prepaid maintenance plans, key replacement coverage, and windshield protection. Some of these products have legitimate value depending on your situation. Gap insurance, for example, can protect you if your car is totaled and you owe more than it is worth. But the way they sell these products is designed to confuse you. They do not quote the total price. They quote the monthly payment. The finance manager will say something like, "It only adds $28 a month to your payment. That sounds like nothing, but $28 a month over a 72-month loan is over $2,000. And that amount is now financed, meaning you are paying interest on it for 6 years. A $1,200 extended warranty becomes a $1,600 extended warranty once the interest is calculated. They are burying the true cost inside the loan where you cannot see it. Here is the part most buyers do not realize. Almost every product the finance office sells, you can be purchased independently for significantly less. Extended warranties can be bought from third-party providers. Gap insurance is often available through your own auto insurance company for a fraction of the dealer price. Prepaid maintenance plans almost never save you money versus paying for oil changes out of pocket. And the FTC's CARS rule, which went into effect in July 2024, explicitly makes it illegal for dealers to charge you for add-on products without your clear, informed consent. Then there is the documentation fee. Every dealership charges one. It is supposed to cover the administrative cost of processing your paperwork. In California, the doc fee is capped at $85 by state law. In New York, it is capped at $175. Reasonable numbers for a clerical task. But in states with no cap, like Florida, the average doc fee is over $1,000. Some dealers charge $1,200 or more for the exact same paperwork. A buyer in California and a buyer in Florida are purchasing the same car, signing the same forms, but the Florida buyer pays over $1,000 more just because their state does not regulate the fee. The gap between the cheapest and most expensive documentation fees across the country is over $4,300. That is not a fee. That is a profit center disguised as administrative overhead, and in most cases, you will not be able to negotiate it down because the dealer applies the same fee to every transaction and can argue it is a standard business cost. But knowing your state's average gives you leverage to at least question whether the fee is reasonable. So here is how you fight back. And these are not theories. These are the exact tactics that informed buyers use every single day. Step 1. Never negotiate the monthly payment. Always negotiate the out-the-door price. The out-the-door price is the total amount you pay, including the vehicle price, all taxes, all fees, and all add-ons. This is the only number that matters. When you let the dealer control the conversation around monthly payments, they can stretch the loan term, increase the interest rate, or bury add-ons inside the payment where you will never notice them. Before you talk about anything else, say these exact words. What is the out-the-door price with zero add-ons? Step 2. Demand an itemized breakdown of every line on the purchase agreement before you sign anything. Every single line. If there is a charge you do not recognize, ask them to explain it. If they cannot clearly articulate what the charge is for, refuse it. Step 3. Know what is legally required and what is optional. Taxes, title, registration, and the documentation fee are typically unavoidable. Everything else, the paint protection, the nitrogen, the VIN etching, the extended warranty, the fabric sealant, every single one of those is optional. If the dealer says the car cannot be sold without the add-ons, that is your signal to walk out. Because according to the FTC, that is exactly the kind of behavior they are now actively policing. Step 4. Get competing quotes from multiple dealerships and compare out-the-door prices, not listing prices. A car that looks $1,500 cheaper online can easily end up $2,000 more expensive once the add-ons and inflated doc fees are stacked on. The listing price is bait. The out-the-door price is reality. Step 5. Be willing to leave. This is the single most powerful negotiation tool you have. The finance office relies on your emotional commitment to the deal. The moment you stand up and walk toward the door, the dynamic changes entirely. They need you more than you need them. The dealership model is built on information asymmetry. They know exactly how much the car costs, exactly what every add-on costs them, and exactly how much profit is in the deal. They are counting on you not knowing any of it, but now you do. The game only works on buyers who have not seen the playbook. You just read it. If you want to stay ahead of every financial trap the automotive industry is running, subscribe to Car Unlock. We break down the engineering scams, the pricing tricks, and the loopholes that keep you in control of your money and your vehicle. Share this with anyone you know who is about to buy a car, because the $4,000 they save might be the difference between a good deal and a financial trap. We will see you in the next one.